By the way, we're here. We're playing the Falcons this weekend.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've noticed it. A lot of talk about Jimmy Garoppolo this week. Obviously, we're always talking about the quarterback, and we've been going down the rabbit hole of famous games against the Atlanta Falcons. The Niners and the Falcons have a long history, even though the Niners pretty much dominated them throughout the '80s. It always felt like the Falcons and Niners, low-key bitter enemies, not rivals, enemies.
You know what the Falcons posted on their Instagram page the other day?
Which one?
It was their Instagram page.
Oh,
which one?
Okay.
On the Falcons.
Yeah.
So they posted Deion Sanders guarding Jerry Rice.
Oh.
In that matchup.
Was it the early 90s?
The early 90s.
With the black
of course,
helmets?
It had to be early 90s.
Well, he played when he had the red helmet in the late 80s, too.
Yeah.
And that was when they had Atlanta, whatever, the outdoor stadium.
Right. Atlanta Fulton County
Thank
Stadium.
you. I was trying to
they
think what
moved
the
it
name
to
was.
the Georgia Dome,
You're
early
always good
90s.
at that. Yeah.
I love those
You're always good at that.
Atlanta Fulton
you're
County
very good.
Stadium,
Yeah.
where they had the Braves there playing,
yes.
and the Falcons with the red helmets and his red jerseys were sick.
When he had the Jerry curl.
Yeah, when he had the Jerry curl and the headband around the neck.
Exactly.
The chains.
Exactly.
Dude, he was...
When he ran a 4.2 in Timberlands.
His draft day when he sat there with Adrian Kramer with all the gold chains.
It's the best.
Iconic, right? So they were showing all these
for
highlights.
Jackson State just because of Deion.
To say, I am swag.
That's the best.
I am swag. They're having way too much fun. He's going to be on 60 Minutes this week, by the way, Deion Sanders.
He might be Florida State's new coach.
I would take that in a heartbeat. Come on, Deion, come to Tallahassee. Let's go.
Let's go. All the NIL money.
Dude, come to Tallahassee. National championships.
Anything's an upgrade over Mike Norvell for you guys.
Hey, you're rolling with crystal ball, baby. Crystal ball. How's that working out? How's that working out?
Back to the Falcons.
All right, Falcons. So they were showing this highlight tape. There was a highlight video on their IG, and it's Deion guarding Jerry Rice. And they had some battles. Steve Young throwing late on the slants, and Deion's just picking it off and then doing his dance. He's hitting Rice. Rice is scoring on him, breaking routes on him, corner routes, out routes. It was great. I was like, this has been a sneaky rivalry. And I remember the one year the Niners didn't make the playoffs in that big stretch where they won 5 Super Bowls. 91. Because Billy Joe Tolliver and the Hail Mary. You remember that?
Jerry Glanville?
Dude, and Deion Sanders was on the sideline after that doing the too legit to quit with Deion. Like, MC Hammer, you're from the Bay.
How about the year 98 when Chris Chandler and Jamal Anderson and the Dirty Bird did us in?
Wow.
I mean, I remember that.
I remember that.
It was yesterday.
That fluky-ass team. Like, can I just
you know
riff
what,
on
though?
that?
I watched that team kick the crap out of the Niners at Candlestick. They punished us.
No, they didn't win that. They didn't win that year at Candlestick.
No, I'm talking about physically punished us in that game. That was one of those games. Jamal Anderson ran so damn hard.
Oh, you mean at the Georgia Dome?
No, there was a game at Candlestick where he was running through guys. I swear to God, every other play, a guy was walking off with injuries.
Well, that year, the Niners won at Candlestick, and they blew them out.
Yes, but then they went down there later after, obviously, Garrison Hurst had exploded his ankle, and they lost to them later on in the year.
In the playoffs. And they lost twice in the Georgia Dome.
I thought that was their best chance to win a Super Bowl post winning the Super Bowl with Steve Young.
Dude, I mean, Garrison Hurst tore his knee up on the first play of the game on a 9-yard carry, and they won 20-16. I remember the score like it was yesterday because I thought that team was just a fluke. The game at Candlestick, the Niners were up 31-7. And I'm like, all right, this team ain't that good. And then they won the regular season. And Jamal Anderson, remember, he was trucking Merton Hanks, and he had that iconic run.
He was plowing dudes. He was a baller.
He was a baller.
And I'm going back. What's your favorite moment in Niners Atlanta Falcons history? Because I've got a couple.
Everybody's going to say the Deion, Andre Rison, and the
really?
Everybody's going to say
that. Over the NFC Championship game with Navarro Bowman making that stop on Tony Gonzalez?
That's a good one. I forget about that.
You know, where Michael Crabtree fumbled at the goal line, then Frank Gore did the dirty bird.
The end zone.
I mean, Kaepernick going from behind.
And they were down 17-0.
I mean, that Atlanta team was loaded that year.
And they were down 17-0.
I mean, on the road.
I remember Harbaugh's on the sideline one play. Kaepernick rolls out, and Harbaugh's like, he's doing the third base cuts. Come on, run, just run it. They were down 17-0 in that game, and I was losing my mind because all week long in San Francisco that week, we're going to blow out the Falcons. We're going to blow out the Falcons.
It was the 2 Chainz effect.
And I remember Britt Jones going on the airways saying, they're going to eat the Falcons up. This is going to be a 2-touchdown game. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? This is going to be a tough game.
I remember 2 Chainz was all up on the Niners, and they came out, and he did a halftime show, and I was like, dude, he's from Atlanta.
Right.
And then they played Atlanta in the NFC Championship game, and he totally switched sides.
Right.
I knew it was coming.
No doubt. So
how about the pick at the stick to the final game at Candlestick?
Navarro Bowman's a good one.
I thought we were going to lose and not make the playoffs.
I believe Rice had like 5 touchdowns in the game against Atlanta in 1 year.
Oh, was that the game where he had the end around?
Maybe the end around. It was in Atlanta. It was in Atlanta. Jim Miller was playing quarterback for the Falcons. They had their black uniforms and the black helmets, and the Niners won. I remember the score like it was yesterday. I was a kid. 45-35, one of those East Coast 10 o'clock games
my
in
favorite.
Atlanta. Rice went crazy in Atlanta in that day. So that's a favorite memory of mine.
And how about T.O. overtime game?
Oh, against Ray Buchanan.
Who can make a play?
Who can make a play? I can make a play.
Ray Buchanan.
Remember that?
Word association with him.
Remember that?
Yes. He was good, though.
He was good. So this has been a sneaky rivalry. I wonder down in Atlanta how they feel about the 49ers.
Well, Bonte, one of my favorite moments of all time at Candlestick. This is when you are a diehard, when the team sucked. Singletary took over, and the game flashed across the screen because it was just, 11 years, 12 years ago. Singletari's coaching the team, and this you're going to remember this name. Michael the Burner Turner and Roddy White were kicking our butts, okay? He calls a team-wide timeout.
I remember.
The entire team comes in. I'll never forget my boy Mikey C. turns to me and goes, I love this. And the Newmans, Niner Nick, who sits next to us, his family was all there, and his grandpa, I love this from the coach. Very next play, 35-yard touchdown for Roddy White.
I know.
He had a 90-yard touchdown later on in that game.
So I'm going to look up that box score. We're going to look up that box score because that game, because the year before they lost 16-14, Taylor Mays had the block punt.
Yes.
They returned a touchdown.
It's the only time in the history somebody had a block punt and you lost the game.
And Nate Clements had a pick in that game, and Roddy White forced a fumble. He did it 2 years in a row against the Niners.
Then Dre Bly, in the game I'm talking about,
at Candlestick,
had an interception.
And he started doing the high step. And Moose Johnson went crazy. Moose Johnson went nuts.
Roddy White stripped him like 10 yards into it. It's like, bro, you had 70 yards to run.
And Moose went crazy. Moose was like, what is this?
Crazy.
Yeah, he was like, how do you do this? Well, I will get the highlights in a second here. Let me read the legal, get to the lines here.
I love the Falcon Niner matchup.
I do. It's a fun rivalry.
Fun.
It's sneaky. You're listening.